Less than 25% of leading roles in top-grossing films use women. Women writers constitute less than 20% of all writers. In the film and television industries, the percentage of women working as directors is barely 6%.
Unappreciated, underused, undervalued. What is happening to that incredible global resource called women?
Hi, my name is Naomi. Ballet is my absolute favorite thing in the world, but a condition called obsessive-compulsive disorder put my dreams of dance on hold. My obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD, started when I was in junior high. I started to get totally stressed out by the order of things. I was fixated on making sure everything was put in the perfectly right place all the time. I felt that I had to do it, like I had no choice. I knew that what I was doing didn't make any sense and that I should just stop doing it, but whenever I tried to stop, something took over in my brain and I just had to keep going. But that wasn't all. I also had these very upsetting pictures in my mind, like dreams, but I was awake. They were images of terrible things happening as a result of a mistake I made. I saw my grandparents being murdered by an intruder who entered the house through a door I left unlocked. I became convinced that I was going to cause some life-ending event as a result of my carelessness. These thoughts and images were obsessions. People with OCD have all different types of obsessions. The important thing to know is that the obsessions are unwanted, intrusive, and repetitive thoughts or images, and that the person experiencing them knows they are unreasonable and excessive.
It has been nearly 2 months since San Diego teenager Hannah Anderson was kidnapped by the man who police say also killed her mother and younger brother. She's now back at school and is leaning heavily on family and friends for support. Earlier this week, I sat down exclusively with Hannah and her father, Brett. We'll get to that conversation in a moment, but first, Hannah's story. At first glance, Hannah Anderson looks like any other 16-year-old girl, spending time with friends, cheerleading, dancing. But behind the smiles lies a terrible truth about a week in August that changed Hannah's life forever. On a Saturday afternoon, James DiMaggio, a close family friend, picked up Hannah at cheerleading camp, saying her mother, Tina, and brother, Ethan, were waiting for her at his house. But DiMaggio had other plans, kidnapping Hannah and forcing her to go to Idaho. Using a timer, DiMaggio set his house on fire when he and Hannah were already hundreds of miles away. Authorities found 2 bodies, later identified as her mother and brother, and issued an Amber Alert across the region.
She is definitely in grave danger. He's a very dangerous man.
A week later, in a remote area of Idaho known as the River of No Return, a group of horseback riders came across DiMaggio and Hannah and felt something wasn't right.
There was just like a square peg going into a round hole. They didn't fit.
Using a tip from the horseback riders, an FBI tactical team moved in, killing DiMaggio in a shootout as Hannah watched in horror.
She was not a willing participant, and she was under extreme duress from the time she left Boulevard to the time she was recovered at Lake Moorhead, Idaho.
Hannah, anything you'd like to say?
Back home in San Diego, Hannah's family has asked for privacy, but speculation remains about Hannah's relationship with DiMaggio and what really happened during that week-long ordeal. Hannah Anderson, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Good.
You feel ready to talk about this and tell the story?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that Saturday. You were at cheerleading camp?
Yeah, my mom dropped me off, and then he came to pick me up because my mom and brother's game already finished, so they were going to meet me up there at his house, was the plan.
So you get in the car. Where do you go, and at what point did you realize something is really wrong?
When we got to his house and my mom's car wasn't there.
Did he say something that lets you know he had some pretty bad plans?
When I got into the house, he handcuffed me and zip-tied my feet. He told me that he was going to kidnap me and take me to Idaho, where my intention was just to carry his backpacks to the river, and that he was